A deep and meaningful message from Archangel Michael for this important phase of your life. My beloved child, listen closely, because this moment did not arrive by accident. You were guided here quietly, gently, at the exact second your soul was ready to remember something important. What you are feeling right now, the restlessness, the anticipation, the sense that life is holding its breath, is not imagination. It is alignment. The unseen has been arranging pieces behind the curtain, and now the curtain is beginning to move. Something huge is waiting for you. Not later. Not someday. Right here, in this phase of your life, when you thought you were only surviving. Every pause you endured, every unanswered question, every silent night was shaping your strength. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is closer than you think. There is a shift happening beneath the surface of your life, subtle yet unstoppable. Old patterns are loosening their grip, doors you never touched before are unlocking, and clarity is approaching like dawn after a long night. You may not see it fully yet, but you feel it in your chest, that quiet certainty that you were meant for more than repetition and delay. This is not coincidence, this is preparation meeting timing. The season you are stepping into will ask you to stand taller, think deeper, and trust what you cannot yet explain. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will not look like chaos, but like purpose finally revealing its shape. Pay attention now, because moments like this do not announce themselves loudly. They arrive disguised as stillness, as reflection, as a sudden awareness that you cannot go back to who you were. The path ahead is opening in layers, and each step will reveal only what you need to see next. Do not rush, and do not doubt the process unfolding. You are being strengthened before being revealed. You are being refined before being recognized. Something huge is waiting for you, and as this message continues, you will begin to understand why this phase of your life matters more than any before it. There comes a point in life when silence itself begins to speak, and this is that point for you. What once felt like confusion is now slowly rearranging into meaning. You may notice that certain distractions are falling away, certain connections feel lighter or distant, and certain desires no longer satisfy you the way they used to. This is not loss, this is alignment. You are being repositioned for what can only arrive when your inner world is ready to hold it. Something huge is waiting for you, and it requires a version of you that is clearer, calmer, and more grounded than ever before. Right now, forces you cannot see are working in harmony with the choices you are making, even the small ones you think do not matter. Every time you chose patience over reaction, faith over fear, growth over comfort, you sent a signal into the unseen. Those signals are being answered. The next chapter will not demand struggle the way the last one did. It will demand awareness. It will ask you to recognize opportunities disguised as ordinary moments. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will come quietly at first, so quietly that only those who are attentive will notice its arrival. This phase is about internal strength, not external noise. You are learning how to trust your intuition without needing constant confirmation. You are learning how to move forward without explaining yourself to everyone. This is where true power develops, in stillness, in discernment, in knowing when to act and when to wait. The clarity you are gaining now will soon guide decisions that shape years of your life. Do not underestimate this season. Something huge is waiting for you, and the awareness you build here will determine how fully you are able to receive it when it finally reveals itself. A subtle awakening is taking place within you, and it is changing the way you perceive your own life. What once felt heavy is beginning to feel instructive, as if every experience you went through was quietly teaching you how to carry greater responsibility with grace. You are starting to understand that delays were not denials, but timing lessons. Each moment of waiting trained your vision, sharpened your patience, and prepared your heart for something more expansive. Something huge is waiting for you, and it could only arrive after you learned how to stand steady without constant reassurance. You may notice that your thoughts are becoming more intentional, your emotions more measured, and your reactions more thoughtful. This is growth happening in real time. You are no longer moved by everything that once unsettled you, and that shift is significant. It means you are stepping into a phase where discernment replaces impulse, and wisdom replaces urgency. The path ahead will not demand you to prove yourself loudly, it will invite you to recognize your worth quietly. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will respond to the calm confidence you are developing now. This is also a season of refinement, where clarity replaces confusion and purpose begins to take form. You are being guided to release what no longer aligns, not out of loss, but out of respect for where you are going. Pay attention to what feels lighter when you let it go. That is direction. The more you trust this process, the more naturally the next step will appear. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is connected to the courage you are showing by becoming who you truly are, even before the reward is visible. There is a moment approaching when understanding will replace all the questions you once carried. It will not arrive with noise or force, but with a deep inner certainty that feels undeniable. You will look back at this phase and realize it was the turning point, the quiet bridge between who you were and who you were always meant to become. The patience you practiced, the discipline you built, and the faith you held during uncertainty were not unnoticed. They were necessary. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is connected to the strength you developed when no one was watching. As this path unfolds, you will begin to sense a clearer direction forming within you. Decisions will feel lighter because they will align naturally with your inner truth. You will no longer chase clarity, clarity will meet you where you stand. This is the season where purpose stops feeling distant and starts feeling personal. What once felt out of reach will begin responding to your presence. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will recognize you by the calm confidence you now carry, not by the struggles you overcame to get here. Stay aware, because what is coming will test your readiness, not your endurance. You are being invited into a chapter that requires trust in your inner guidance and respect for your own growth. The lessons of this phase will echo forward, shaping opportunities and relationships in ways you cannot yet measure. This is not an ending, it is a revealing. Something huge is waiting for you, and as this message reaches its final moments, know this with certainty: you were prepared for this season long before you realized it, and what lies ahead will confirm that truth in ways that feel both surprising and deeply familiar. A quiet confirmation is beginning to settle into your awareness, and it feels different from excitement or fear. It feels steady. It feels grounded. This is how alignment announces itself, without urgency, without pressure, but with a sense of rightness that cannot be argued away. You are no longer searching for signs in every direction because something within you has already recognized the path. The uncertainty that once surrounded you is dissolving into understanding. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is responding to the inner stability you have cultivated during this phase. You are entering a stage where your actions will carry more weight than your words. The energy you bring into situations will shape outcomes before conversations even begin. This is why this season focused so much on inner clarity rather than outer movement. You are being prepared to move with intention, not reaction. The opportunities ahead will not demand force. They will open in response to alignment. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will meet you when you move forward with calm confidence instead of doubt. As this chapter continues to unfold, remember that growth is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it is revealed in how naturally you step into what once felt intimidating. You are becoming someone who trusts their timing, honors their boundaries, and recognizes their own value without needing approval. This transformation is subtle, but it is powerful. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will feel less like a surprise and more like a long-awaited recognition of who you have already become. What lies ahead will not require you to become someone else, it will invite you to fully occupy who you already are. This is an important distinction, because the journey you have walked was never about changing your essence, but about clearing away what was never truly yours. You may feel a new sense of ease in your decisions now, as if resistance has softened and the path responds more naturally to your steps. This is alignment in motion. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is arriving because you finally made space for it without forcing the outcome. You will soon notice that situations begin to resolve with less effort than before. Where you once pushed, you will now guide. Where you once questioned yourself, you will now listen inwardly and act with certainty. This is not luck, it is mastery built through experience. Every challenge you faced refined your perception and strengthened your trust in timing. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is connected to your ability to move forward without fear of missing out or falling behind. This phase is teaching you how to remain centered even as circumstances change around you. That steadiness will become your greatest asset. You will recognize when to pause and when to proceed, when to speak and when to observe. This balance is rare, and it is powerful. The next chapter will reflect the inner order you have established now. Something huge is waiting for you, and as this message continues, you will begin to see that what is coming is not meant to overwhelm you, but to match the strength you have quietly built. A deeper awareness is settling into your life, and with it comes a sense of responsibility that feels empowering rather than heavy. You are beginning to understand that your presence alone influences more than you realize. The way you think, the way you respond, the way you choose calm over chaos is shaping outcomes in subtle but meaningful ways. This is the mark of someone stepping into a higher level of purpose. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is drawn to the clarity and steadiness you now carry within yourself. You may find that your priorities are shifting without effort. What once demanded your attention no longer holds the same power, and what truly matters is becoming unmistakably clear. This is not withdrawal from life, it is refinement. You are learning to conserve your energy for what aligns with your values and vision. The future unfolding ahead will reward this discernment. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will respond to the focus you have developed by no longer scattering yourself in every direction. As this season continues, trust that you do not need to see the entire path to walk it well. Each step is revealing itself at the precise moment you are ready to take it. There is wisdom in this gradual unfolding, ensuring that you remain grounded as your responsibilities expand. You are not late, and you are not early. You are exactly where preparation meets opportunity. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will arrive in a way that feels natural, affirming that this important phase of your life was designed to lead you here. There is a quiet strength growing within you that does not seek attention, yet it commands respect. This strength was formed in moments when you chose understanding over reaction and patience over frustration. You may not have realized it at the time, but each of those choices was shaping the person you are now becoming. The results of that inner work are beginning to surface, and they will soon reflect outwardly in your life. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is responding to the consistency you maintained when results were not yet visible. You are also learning the value of timing, how powerful it is to move when the moment is right rather than when pressure demands it. This awareness is protecting you from unnecessary struggle and guiding you toward outcomes that feel balanced and sustainable. The next opportunities you encounter will not feel rushed or forced, they will feel aligned. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will arrive in a way that confirms you did not need to hurry to be ready. This phase is about trust, trust in your growth, trust in your discernment, and trust in the unfolding process itself. You are no longer being tested in the same ways as before because you have already passed those lessons. Now, you are being prepared to apply what you have learned with confidence and grace. Something huge is waiting for you, and as this awareness deepens, you will recognize that this important phase of your life is not a pause, but a powerful transition into what comes next. A sense of quiet anticipation is beginning to replace uncertainty, and this shift is significant. You are no longer waiting in doubt, you are waiting with understanding. There is a difference. This kind of waiting carries confidence, not fear. It knows that movement is coming and that preparation has already been done. You are standing at the edge of a new chapter with awareness instead of anxiety. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is approaching in a way that honors the patience you have shown throughout this phase. You may begin to notice subtle confirmations around you, small moments of clarity, conversations that resonate deeply, ideas that feel grounded and practical. These are not random, they are indicators that your inner alignment is matching external direction. The more you trust this flow, the more naturally progress will unfold. You are learning how to recognize what is meant for you without needing to chase it. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will respond to this calm readiness rather than urgency. As this chapter continues, remember that your growth has already changed the trajectory of your life. Even if everything does not look different yet, you are different, and that changes everything. The choices you make now will be guided by insight rather than impulse. This will shape outcomes that feel stable and meaningful. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will arrive as a confirmation that this important phase was not about delay, but about becoming ready to receive what truly aligns with who you are now. A new level of clarity is beginning to settle into your thoughts, and with it comes a sense of quiet authority over your own life. You are no longer easily pulled in opposing directions because you know what matters to you now. This clarity was earned through experience, reflection, and the courage to face uncertainty without turning away. The steadiness you feel is not temporary, it is a foundation. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is drawn to this grounded sense of self you have developed. You may notice that your confidence no longer needs to be proven or displayed. It exists naturally in how you move, how you decide, and how you respond to challenges. This is a powerful shift. When confidence becomes internal, it changes the way opportunities approach you. You will begin to attract situations that respect your boundaries and align with your values. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will recognize you by the calm assurance you carry rather than by the effort you once exerted. This phase is teaching you that true momentum does not come from force, but from alignment. The next steps you take will feel intentional and clear, not rushed or uncertain. You are learning to trust yourself at a deeper level, and that trust will guide you through what comes next. Something huge is waiting for you, and as this understanding deepens, you will realize that this important phase of your life was preparing you not just for change, but for stability, purpose, and meaningful growth. A sense of readiness is settling into your spirit, not the kind that rushes forward, but the kind that knows it can respond when the moment arrives. You are no longer preparing out of fear of missing out, you are prepared because you understand yourself better now. This awareness has changed how you approach life. You trust your judgment more, and you hesitate less when something aligns. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will meet you at this level of calm preparedness. You may find that challenges no longer feel like obstacles, but like signals guiding you toward better decisions. This shift in perspective is powerful. It allows you to remain composed even when outcomes are uncertain. You are learning how to hold space for possibility without needing immediate resolution. This balance will serve you well as new opportunities unfold. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will respond to your ability to remain steady while moving forward with intention. This phase is also teaching you the value of self-trust. You no longer need constant validation to confirm your direction. The clarity you carry now was shaped by experience, not opinion. As you continue, this inner confidence will quietly influence the way doors open for you. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will arrive as a natural extension of the person you have become during this important and transformative season of your life. A deeper sense of purpose is beginning to surface, and it feels less like pressure and more like direction. You are no longer asking who you should become. You are discovering how to express who you already are. This realization brings calm rather than urgency, because it aligns with your values and understanding. You are moving from effort into flow, from questioning into clarity. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is drawn to this authentic alignment you are embodying now. You may notice that your energy is becoming more focused, no longer scattered across too many concerns. This focus allows you to invest yourself fully in what truly matters, creating results that feel meaningful and sustainable. The choices you make now will not be reactive, they will be intentional. This is the mark of growth that lasts. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will unfold in response to the consistency and discernment you have developed during this phase. As this chapter continues, remember that fulfillment often arrives quietly, through steady progress rather than dramatic shifts. You are learning to recognize value in small, deliberate steps that lead toward long-term stability. This awareness is preparing you to handle what comes next with wisdom and balance. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it reveals itself, you will recognize it not as disruption, but as a natural continuation of the path you have already chosen. A quiet confidence is now shaping the way you move through your days, and this confidence is different from anything you felt before. It does not rely on outcomes or approval, it comes from knowing your direction. You have learned how to listen inwardly and act without hesitation when something aligns. This is not impulsive, it is informed. It is the result of growth, reflection, and patience. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is responding to this inner certainty you now carry. You may find that you are no longer drawn into unnecessary conflict or distraction. Your focus has sharpened, and your time feels more valuable to you. This shift is intentional. You are being guided to protect your energy so it can be invested where it truly matters. The future unfolding ahead will reward this discernment with opportunities that respect your clarity. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will appear in spaces where you have chosen intention over noise. This phase is also revealing how capable you have become. You are no longer doubting whether you can handle what comes next, you know you can. The experiences behind you have proven that. Now, the path ahead invites you to apply that strength with wisdom rather than force. Something huge is waiting for you, and as this important phase continues, you will recognize that what is coming is not meant to test you, but to reflect the growth you have already achieved. The way your life unfolds, and you may notice that things begin to make sense without needing explanation. What once felt scattered is drawing together into a clear pattern. This is not chance, it is the result of inner order meeting the right timing. You are beginning to experience progress that feels natural rather than forced. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is responding to the balance you have created within yourself. You are also becoming more selective with where you place your attention and effort. This selectiveness is not withdrawal, it is wisdom. You understand now that not every opportunity deserves your energy, and not every opinion requires your response. This clarity is shaping a future that feels stable and intentional. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will align with this discernment, appearing in ways that respect your boundaries and values. As this phase continues, trust the steady pace at which things are unfolding. You are no longer being rushed because you are no longer resisting the process. The calm you feel is a sign that you are in harmony with your direction. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it arrives, it will feel less like a surprise and more like a confirmation that this important phase of your life was guiding you exactly where you needed to be. A deeper sense of stability is settling into your life, and it is changing how you view the future. You are no longer imagining what could go wrong, you are recognizing what is finally ready to go right. This shift in perspective is powerful because it allows you to move forward without carrying unnecessary weight from the past. You have learned what to hold on to and what to release. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is connected to this grounded outlook you now possess. You may notice that your decisions feel simpler, not because life is easier, but because your understanding is clearer. You know what aligns with your values and what does not, and that knowledge removes hesitation. This clarity will guide you into opportunities that feel steady and meaningful rather than chaotic or draining. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will meet you in spaces where your actions reflect your inner truth. This phase has refined your patience and strengthened your trust in timing. You no longer feel the need to rush outcomes or compare your progress to others. You recognize that your path has its own rhythm, and that rhythm is working in your favor. Something huge is waiting for you, and as this important phase draws toward completion, you will see that every step you took was preparing you to receive what aligns fully with who you have become. A calm certainty is beginning to anchor you, even as the future remains partially unseen. This certainty does not demand guarantees, it rests in trust. You have learned that clarity unfolds through movement, not through endless analysis. Because of this, you are more willing to step forward without needing everything explained in advance. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is responding to this quiet courage that now guides your actions. You may feel a growing respect for your own journey, including the slower moments that once felt frustrating. You now see how those moments protected you, taught you discernment, and strengthened your resolve. This understanding allows you to move forward without resentment or regret. The path ahead is shaped by acceptance rather than resistance. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will align with the wisdom you gained by honoring your process instead of rushing it. As this phase continues, you are learning to remain steady even as possibilities expand around you. This steadiness will help you navigate new responsibilities and opportunities with balance. You are not stepping into something that will overwhelm you, but into something that matches the growth you have already achieved. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will arrive as a natural extension of the confidence and clarity you have cultivated throughout this important chapter of your life.